Good morning. Welcome to the Agruss Law Firm video podcast. This is a show about legal topics that friends and family want to know. I'm Taylor Kosla, a partner at Agruss Law Firm, and today we're speaking with Cook County Public Defender Mario Casciaro. Mario has worked as a public defender for the past year, and he represents clients in post-conviction cases. Mario, how are you?
Wonderful. Thank you for having me on the program.
Thank you for joining me today. We met a few years ago at a Justinian Society event, and I think you were still in law school at the time.
That is correct.
Now you're working for one of the largest criminal defense firms in the country. Can you tell me a little bit about what you do as a public defender?
Sure. So public defenders generally represent indigent defendants, clients. We are appointed by the court. So if a client doesn't have money for a private attorney, we represent them in their matters, in their criminal matters.
And there are various divisions of the law office of the Cook County Public Defender. Can you tell me about the post-conviction cases that you primarily handle?
Yes. So I'm in what's called Legal Resource Division. So Legal Resource Division is appeals and post-convictions exclusively. And so I'm in the post-conviction unit of Legal Resource Division. So my clients have already been convicted, and I get their cases generally after they filed a pro se petition and the court believed that there was some type of merit or that the defendant could use help to amend the petition. So I get appointed by the court.
And do you have any sort of specialization, or is there a particular type of case that you mostly handle?
So the nature of these cases is generally going to be a pretty serious offense because of the fact that they've already been convicted and they are trying to look for a legal remedy or some type of mitigation in the amount of years that they were sentenced. So most of my cases are attempt murders and rapes.
Okay. And you have an extremely compelling story about how you came to be a public defender. Just 5 years ago, you were in prison for being wrongly convicted of murder. Can you tell me about how your experience paved the path for you to be where you are today?
Yeah, I have an extremely unique vantage point of the criminal system, the criminal defense system. Our justice system has definitely some flaws in it. And what I basically am going to specialize in my career is post-convictions, and then hopefully at some point civil rights when you have a successful petitioner and a petition is granted. So people get wrongfully convicted for a variety of things. Usually it'll be like a false identification or potentially a DNA case. There is a wide array of items that people get wrongfully convicted for. And what I'm trying to do is provide justice for those that need it.
You knew the moment that you were released that you were going to dedicate your life to fixing the justice system that wrongfully put you behind bars. And the way to do that was by being an attorney. I think I read somewhere that within 90 days of being released from prison, you took the LSAT. Is that true?
It is. So I was released on September 25th, 2015, and I took the December LSAT. So while I was in prison, I was basically at the law library as often as I possibly could be. And I had a very good dialogue with my defense attorney, which is Kathleen Zellner. And based on our interactions early on, she said, you should probably go to law school when you get out of this, because I think you would be a great attorney. And so I wanted to learn as much as I possibly could about the law, because I felt like nobody's ever going to work harder for your life than you are yourself. So The whole time that I was in prison, I was constantly reading case law pertinent to particularly my case. And then now, obviously, I am looking at my clients' cases. So that's a different fact pattern. But generally, I spent a lot of my time trying to learn the law. I think I read Black's Law Dictionary front to back like 5 or 6 times.
Wow.
Because when you're in prison at a maximum security 23-hour a day, you're in your cell. So reading is a gateway to take you out of your cell. And I did as best as I could to read as much as I could.
That's truly amazing. And after everything you went through, now you're a public defender doing exactly what you set out to do. What does a typical workday look like for you?
So I usually have court call every day in Cook County at 9:30 a.m. Most of my cases are at 26 in California. I have some cases also in Bridgeview. So right now, because we are on Zoom and operating remotely, I would go through my court call at home and go over with the judge what the plan is going forward, whether or not we're going to amend the petition, whether or not I need additional discovery. So, there could be police reports, depending on each case, there's a different fact pattern. So that kind of makes each case unique. And then therefore it'll be a different thing that I'm asking the court to do in each scenario.
You mentioned that you have about 40 cases right now. Do you think your clients are more willing to trust you because of your experiences with the system?
I generally don't mention it unless they do, just because I don't feel the need to like boast. But I definitely have had multiple defendants. Because I have a few that are actually no longer in custody and they're still fighting their case, which to me is a red flag that they're innocent, because if they're still continuing to try to fight a conviction that they're no longer in custody for, usually, most people would just let it go. So anyway, I have a couple of clients that are actually out and they were able to Google my name. And it definitely changed our camaraderie between the client and the attorney. So I got is this really you? From a couple, from one of them. And then he's like, thank God I finally got, an attorney that's going to really look into my case. And I said, yeah, I truthfully believe most of the attorneys at the public defender's office are top notch. But I think maybe some have gotten a bad rap because they have so many cases, and they were unable to put as much attention on a particular case because of the large volume of case load.
Well, I think any client would be lucky to have you in their corner.
Thank you.
I asked this question of every attorney that comes on the podcast. How has COVID changed your practice?
Well, I'm a lot less of a paper person. Everything is digital now. I'm editing PDFs and putting notes on PDFs. Everything is remote. We haven't had any trials or serious hearings as a result of COVID. So a lot of things are essentially continued. And once the courts open back up, I think there's going to be a significant backlog to try to catch up. But I would say it's given me flexibility in my day. So I don't have to commute to the office. I work from home. So that's just changed things. I think I save a lot of time doing that. It's also financially beneficial because I don't have to pay for parking or lunch or all the things that you would normally do if I was at the Daily Center. So it's definitely been a change. And I think also motion practice is interesting when it's on Zoom. So we'll see. I'm looking forward to going back to regular court, actually.
When you said motion practice has changed, how has it changed since the pandemic?
So I think there's an art to being an attorney and arguing in a live courtroom in front of a judge and being swift and with your arguments and being concise. And I think that a lot of your arsenal as a great attorney is mitigated via Zoom. I don't think that great trial attorneys would ever want to be conducting a trial on Zoom because there's subtle things that great attorneys do. It's the way that you position your hands. It's the way that you make eye contact with the jury. It's the way that you explain things to the court. And all these things kind of are lost in the shuffle on Zoom.
Right. I agree with you. It's definitely changed our practice, the personal injury side of things. We're experiencing the same backlogs, the same delays, and it will be really interesting to see what happens when the courts actually open up. But all we can do is sit and wait. I don't know about 26 and Cal, but we haven't really been given an idea of when things will return to normal on the civil side.
So our department was fortunate enough to have been vaccinated or given the option to get a vaccination. So I've already had my second shot. And I think most public defenders have elected to be vaccinated. In an effort, I believe there's a lot of speculation at the courthouse that we're going to be back in full throttle sometime in May.
Wow.
But it is going to be, I shouldn't say full throttle. I believe that they're pitching an idea of a staggered court. So basically, I would have court like Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and not all week. So we'll see. I mean, right now there's a lot of speculation, but I know that our union is very concerned about it. The public defender's office is a union office. So there's definitely a lot of concern going forward.
May is coming up on us really quickly, so that'll be interesting to see if it does return. Yeah. All right, let's do some rapid fire questions. Mario, what is your favorite food?
Pizza.
What kind of pizza?
Stuffed Giordano's.
Ooh, that's a good choice. Are you a cheese guy or do you like toppings?
I mean, throw some meat on there, but yeah, cheese is, I mean, it's just an awesome pizza.
It is. So, what is your favorite animal?
A dog.
Do you have a dog?
My parents have a beautiful dog.
What kind of dog is it?
I don't even know, but it's just really cute. Every time that I have it, it's a showstopper.
That's great.
People stop to, the neighbors ring the bell to ask if they could walk our dog.
Oh, that's so sweet.
All the kids in the neighborhood try to also watch the dog. It's pretty funny.
That's great.
Yep.
If you could teach one subject in school, what would it be?
I plan at some point to teach criminal procedure or maybe appellate advocacy in law school somewhere, but that's a little bit down the road.
I hope you get to do that one day. I'm sure you will.
That's the plan.
What do you like to do on the weekends?
I like to travel. I've been fortunate enough to travel quite a bit, and I always look forward to the next excursion.
I'm sure your travel opportunities have diminished over the past year, but I hope you get back to it as soon as possible.
Absolutely.
Mario, what's the best way for people to get in touch with you?
So I have a website that is www.casciarolaw.com, which is the phonetic spelling of my name and then law. So CASCIAROLAW.com.
And what phone number can they reach you at?
312-324-4699.
Thank you. Well, I appreciate you taking the time to do this, and I look forward to seeing you at the next Justinian event or other networking event.
Absolutely. I look forward to that day as well.
All right. Thanks so much, Mario.
Thank you, Taylor. Have a wonderful day.
You too.